A beautiful Sunday morning here in the Kettle Moraine Forest for a nice walk. Better still, to walk around one of the greatest racetracks that you would ever imagine, the National Park of Speed here at Road America. They look like they're enjoying it. Hey there, great to have you out here wandering around. This is all part of the 60th anniversary running of SCCA's National Championship Runoffs, and that is the new path that has been carved so you can get back and watch activity all around the backside of this track. I'm Greg Kramer, joined by Larry McLeod here in the booth, but we are getting ready for one of my absolute favorite classes, and it's one of the bigger fields here as well, which will make it all the more entertaining. To tell us more about it, let's meet the third member of our team. That is Hayward Wagner.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is definitely one of the races everybody wants to watch. These cars are very evenly matched. There's only 4 of them left on the old drum brake setup. Everybody else has gone to disc brakes. So that's been a big talking point in this class over the last couple of years as people have transitioned from the disc to the from the drums to the discs. We also have a rarity, if you will, in Formula V, where we only have a handful of past national champions in this class. The ones who have them, there's 5 total, but the ones who have championships have a couple each. But we got a lot of drivers here that are hungry, a lot of drivers that have not gotten to that top step of the podium yet. When I'm walking through this grid, what I'm seeing more and more is all of these little aero bits. These cars a couple years ago really didn't have a lot of aerodynamics. We're seeing more and more seals around the rear axles and all kinds of little just tricks and widgets to make these cars go even faster. And one that I think everybody needs to be watching is this orange number 15. Brian Farham had a rough qualifying week. Look at the front end of this car, though. See how low the 15 is? He's got that little splitter body work on it. It's a very clean car, a very tidy car. They think they can drive this car to the front of the field, especially if they get help with a caution.
I've often referred to this as one of the great field classes because when Hayward's talking about the aero bits on this track, it's not downforce, it's slippery. Everything is geared in these cars to getting through the air quickly.
It's slippery, it's the draft, it's giving a draft, it's taking a draft, because they're going to need it down this long Road America front straightaway, up the hill, down to turn 1. We're going to have probably 3 wide into turn 1, and they'll be just screaming around there. They'll come around turn 3, and it becomes a chess match down the back straight. That's where we'll get our trap speeds. These are not going to be P1 trap speeds down there. This is Formula V, but they'll be dicing as they go into 5. They'll go through turn 5, up the hill to the Corvette Bridge, under 6. They'll be flat around turn 7, down the hill, the hurry downs to turn 8, which is that left-hander that leads you to the carousel. They'll go down the hoop at the carousel, through the kink, flat out, down around through the very bottom of the track to 12, which is the famous Canada corner. Great shot of it there. Actually, that's the inside of Canada right there at 12. They'll come up the hill at Bill Mitchell Bend, and then around to 14, where we'll probably still see more passing from 14 to the start stripe, because that's how V racing works.
Yeah, they climb this hill, and again, there's not a lot of power in these little motors in the back. And one of the reasons I say it's a great field class is you could see those tires on those cars. There's almost nothing to them in terms of grip. There's very little contact patch. And so if you have the gift of feel, you can make a difference in Formula V. And the run to the gold in Formula V will be coming up as soon as we come back to Road America. Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. The field heading out. This large field of Formula V is always a pretty highly subscribed class. So I'm going to get right to the starting lineup, and then we can fill in some gaps here as we come to the line. Starting on the pole, and it is the Tire Rack Pole Award, a 3-time gold medalist, and the defending champion from pole, Andrew Whitson, out of Neenah, Wisconsin, home track here in his proto form. Starting right next to him, another Whitson. Yep, part of the family, the number 18 of Steve Whitson. Then starting in the third row, a guy who's had something very special happen to him. Larry will fill us in on that. The number 60 win of Jonathan Weisscheid. He is starting his 19th time here at the runoff, starting in the 4th spot, the 26th. The first of 2 Abbotts in the field, Brandon Abbott, with his 12th runoff start in his Vector. Starting in the 15th spot, the number 79, 10th runoff start for Alex Scaler. Silver at VIR last year in this car. That is his own design, a Scaler, starting in the 6th spot. The number 25, making his 15th start, Andrew Abbott. 4-time the bronze medalist. Talk about somebody who's hungry for a win here in his Vector. Starting in the 7th spot is the number 27 of Zachary Whitson, the third of the Whitsons we're going to be talking about. He won the June sprints here and has a silver in his pocket from the runoffs in a proto form. And then the dad, still fast, Rocket Ron Whitson, 23rd runoff start for him in his proto form. Starting in the 9th spot, second runoff start for the 35 of Graham Loghead, who has got a tradition of Formula V in his family, driving a Vortec. Starting 10th, the rookie, the number 36, Mike Lawrence, in the proto form. Starting 11th, the gentleman that Hayward was talking about, should be fun to watch, Brian Farnham, making his 8th runoff start in the number 15, the Silver Bullet. Starting in the 12th spot, 19th runoff start for the number 30, Donnie Isley, in the Agitator. Starting in the 13th spot, 11th runoff start for the 52, Mitchell Ferguson in a Porsche. Starting in the 14th spot, 9th runoff start for the number 9, Quinn Posner. He's had a silver medal before in his proto form. Then, starting in the 15th spot, 17th runoff start for a 2-time gold medalist, the 77 of Rick Shields in a VDF. Starting in the 16th spot, 9th runoff start for the number 81 of Raymond Carmody. He was a Hawk Breakthrough Award winner, having the biggest gain in speed from qualifying 1 to qualifying 2 in his Mysterian. Starting in the 8th spot is, the 17th spot is the number 8, a rookie, Connor Loghead. So another Loghead in the field here at another Vortex. Starting 18th, second runoff start for the 14 of John Adams in his Adams V2. Starting in the 19th spot, 5th runoff start for the 181 of Alexander Bertolucci in a Citation. Starting in the 20th spot, 4th runoff start for the 29, Jeffrey Velio, in the Speed Sport. Starting in the 21st spot, 3rd runoff start for the 64, Rich Richardson in a proto form. Starting in the 22nd spot, how about this number? 37th runoff start for a 2-time gold medalist, the number 80 of Stephen Davis, now driving a Vortec. Starting in the 23rd spot, the number 74, it'll be his 15th start for Stuart Delaney in a Caracol. Starting in the 24th spot, the number 88, 14th runoff start for Mark Richardson in a Vortec. 25th, 10th runoff start for the 24 of William Styczynski in a Vortex. Starting in the 26th spot, a rookie, the 94 of Michael Nitz in a Mysterian. And starting 27th, 7th runoff start for the number 4 of Marjorie Lundberg, and she is driving a Caracol. That's our field. Let's go talk about, you mentioned me something very special happened for Jonathan here.
Jonathan Weishaupt was inducted into Formula V Hall of Fame this week, and that was all happened right here on site down at Victory Circle on Wednesday night. Then on Thursday goes out, puts his thing on qualifying in the 2nd row, and he is right up there, one of the more experienced drivers in this field. 18 prior starts coming in. The issue is he's got the family, the brothers in front of him, Andrew and Steve Whitson. Andrew's got 3 golds. Steve does not. Steve was on provisional pole Wednesday, and he was a little upset that he dragged his brother around the track on Thursday and gave him pole. So Steve may be looking for some revenge. Jonathan Weishaupt, that V Hall of Famer, may be looking to stick his nose between. But look for the 2 Abbott cars. They're the red ones with the lightning bolts. They're going to be nose to tail on the outsides, rows 2 and 3. Those guys may want to hook together. You've also got the 2 other Whitstons. You got Zach Whitston, the 3rd brother, and Ron, the father. They're on the 4th row. These families are going to want to pair up. Watch for how they work together.
And they will do exactly that. Drafting is everything in these cars. Oftentimes you'll see them running in packs so thick they'll be interlocking wheels through corners. It is just a phenomenal training ground if you want to get into racing and learn how to carry momentum and speed through corners. This is an amazing class to do it, and relatively inexpensive. I love the fact that they've at least allowed them to now be running discs if they want to, because the brakes, especially at this track, those old drum brakes will take a beating here. So, all right, here we go. Run for the gold in Formula V, coming up the hill, under the bridge, and look at that. There's that little line of oil dry. We're green! And everybody should be okay with that. And from the inside, Andrew Whitson getting that move, but Steve had a pretty good start up and around the outside here.
Watch the Abbotts on the outside. The 2 red cars, they're nose to tail right behind Steve Whitson in that yellow one in the front row. Andrew Whitson going to try to hold his inside line, though.
And look at that, though. Beautiful move by Steve Winston. Does he make this work around the outside?
He did.
He flowed a lot of speed. He did, and did so with some serious success. And Brandon Abbott, you talked about it. He's up into 2nd. What a start.
Though.
Yeah. Oh, and number 5.
It's Ron
having
Whitson.
a big moment.
That's the dad.
That is surprising.
Oh, that's going to hurt Zach Whitson, who was hoping to work with his dad there through this race. Let's hope the skinny tires and the low ride height, he doesn't have any issues getting out of that gravel trap.
Yeah, he was doing the right thing, just kind of taking it easy and just letting it sort of skim across here. But the battle is on at the front. Here we go. Down into turn 5. Look at them fan out. This field getting after it here. More lockup. We're going to see that. And, the other thing to be aware of, folks, with these cars, you see a little bit of smoke, don't
Totally
worry about
normal.
it. That's
Yep.
part of Formula V.
These are post-World War era 1200cc air-cooled Volkswagens. They do that. They use oil. It is their cooling. They're quote-unquote air-cooled. They're oil-cooled.
Yes.
They carry a lot of oil on, and they will puff that out quite often, so don't be alarmed. What you're seeing is a lockup is that smoke this morning with the cold tires here. A very chilly morning, just around 60 degrees here in Elkhart Lake. A lot of lockup early on these cars.
Look at Graham Lockhead taking a look, trying to make a move up as well. If you've been watching Formula V for a while, you see a car with that sort of purple and white, you know that's a Lockhead, no question
look
about
at the
that.
run here for the Abbotts to get around. I can't tell them apart. One of the Abbotts has gone around Steve Whitston now, so Steve Whitston splitting the two Abbotts. Have to see if that was
Andrew.
Brandon. That
is
is
up front.
Andrew.
Yep. He had that fabulous start. Then Whitston. Yeah, because Whitston looked like he had that done from the outside, and then Abbott just came from nowhere and had an absolutely fabulous run side by side. Heading into Canada Corner, expect to see a lot of this. Look at that big pop move there by the number 26, Brandon Abbott, trying to get something done.
Yeah, but look at Weishaupt there, making sure he holds his line. The Hall of Famer there up into that second spot now, staying ahead of Steve Whitston. I wonder where has Andrew Whitston been shuffled back to?
Yeah, that's incredible. We did get a report that dad, Ron, was able to continue and move on, so good news there.
Well, I see Andrew in the red and white when they're behind brother Zach, who's then behind Brandon Abbott. So the train continues, and then you got Scaler there in a unique body, continuous flowing, single, almost a unibody that drops over the chassis of that car in that light blue car. So low, so slung low, he's right in between those two Whitstons right now.
Yeah, and watch now for Steve Whitston as he is going to be able to maybe do something here. Tucked right in. There's that pop move by Weishaupt, and Whitston's going right with him, looking for something, not going to be quite able to get that done. So Steve doing a really, really nice job. We're going to see this kind of it. Look at that, a little bit of a gap there. And one thing at the 26 of Brandon Abbott, that second red car there, the last thing you want is to see anybody get out in front. So the two Abbotts have a golden opportunity here running line astern to really work together, I would think.
Yeah, and they work together a lot. That whole family, the Abbott family, deep into the history of Formula V's. Their father, Terry, was such an integral part not only of their upbringing, but of all the V's in the Midwest. Passed away this year. We all loved him, but I love seeing this race here. Look at this. Down the inside go the Abbotts.
Ooh, really nicely played here, but Whitston saying, I'm going to at least split these guys if I can, and manages to still do that. So Steve Whitston certainly fighting hard at this stage. Up and under the bridge at turn 6. What was that in that blue? Oh, that was Scaler, wasn't it? Trying to make a move here.
Yep, Scaler in that little bit of a pack there. Another one of the younger drivers in this field. He's got some chops though now, as he's been in this class about 7 years. So he's up there. A lot of the youth though at the front, and then you've got Weishaupt, that Hall of Famer down there. A lot of veterans in this field. You see 36 of Mike Lawrence making a move going into 8.
Boy, that is a really unique machine for Scaler, isn't it? When you take a look on that 79, that blue one, there it is.
How smooth that is. There's not a seam in that bodywork.
Yep, and like you said, it's all about slicing through the air in these cars. And man, that was a beautiful outside move he put in, and that's going to move him up into 7. So he is now, the thing is, trying to find a partner that will draft him up to this pack. And these guys up front, when they go side by side, that's what Scaler wants to see. Of course, he's going to get somebody alongside his shoulder as well as they come in. And
that's Farnham.
Oh, wow, what a drive by Farnham. He is coming up through the field.
Yeah, Farnham right there trying to follow Scaler through that late in the pack coming down into Canada. He had some issues earlier in the week with gearbox. He's been a champion in 22. He's been up around the podium all the time. So keep your eye on that bright orange car back there, as Hayward mentioned on the grid.
Yeah, he's going to be one to really make a scrap. But right now, look at that beautiful move by Steve Whitston into the front over Abbott. And the two of them have created, that's a bit of a gap here.
Yeah.
If they do something right here, they can settle this right now between the two of them, but not always easily done. Jonathan Weisheit moving around Abbott number 2 here and jumps up into that 3rd spot.
Andrew Abbott's going to get the double draft here. He got the first draft on Brandon Abbott. Now he's going to get the draft. Maybe not quite a Weisheit. So Andrew Whitson sliding back in behind Weisheit here going into 1.
Look how wide the guys up front using every bit of that run. One of the things about these cars is you can get over the curbs a little bit. They're not right down on the deck like some cars, so you can use those curbs up. And Scaler, once again, just fighting for everything he's worth right now, sitting in that 7th spot and trying to continue to move forward. Whitston, Andrew Abbott, Weisheit. It's going to be like this entire race, and that's what we love about it, is just constant drafting and swapping.
Corner to corner. The timing screen only updates once a lap, but these guys are forcing it to update about every 100 yards, it seems.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Here we go. Weisheit having to defend pretty aggressively there on Andrew Whitston. Able to do just that. Whitston now, he's got some experience there in that number 12. That's our pole sitter. Slipped back to 5th as they came by last time, now back up to 4th. And all you can do is put your head down.
Yeah, that 3-time champ. He knows how to get it done late in the race. He knows that this is going to be a long race. Be patient. The front 3 are dicing, maybe thinking they can break away because they're fighting on, not really fighting, they're drafting on the straightaways, but still difficult to coordinate. What we haven't seen a lot of are the teammates getting together and be able to work together.
Yeah.
The 2 Abbotts, we haven't seen them really together since the opening lap. The Whitstons that are up in the front there, we haven't seen them be able to pair up, and I think that's led to this sort of mixing going on, but no one's quite got their dance partner.
And look at this, Weisheit thinking about making a move maybe for the lead.
Wow.
That was from 3rd to the lead and into the kink.
The kink.
Wow, what a move by the new inductee into the Formula V Hall of Fame and showing everybody why. And I think Andrew Whitston got a tremendous run here too. Thinking about it, yep, he came up now and is slotted from 5th into 3rd. Beautiful move by Andrew. And right now it's, by Andrew Whitston.
Yeah.
And it's Steve Whitston who led as he came across the line, and he's in danger of dropping to 5th here, currently back to 4th.
Yeah, that was some great move there for Andrew Whitston to take that opportunity, using that long draft. Let's see if he can also grab the draft behind Andrew Abbott and try to make a run up to the lead. Look at this. What are we, 10 cars deep?
Oh, this is a fabulous, all the way back, I think, to the 36 there of Lawrence. And here we go. Weisheit now into the lead, but with a head of steam. Here comes Andrew Abbott. Is he going to be able to make the move? He looks to the inside. It is a drag race now down into turn 1. And Andrew Abbott with that toe takes it over. But look at Whitston diving down. Andrew Whitston thinking about it. Oh, how wide do you think you can go? Andrew Abbott using every bit of racetrack. And here we go. Big lunge, and our pole sitter, Andrew Whitston, is now back into 2nd. He's methodically working his way back into this.
Watching Weisheit side by side with Andrew Whitston, and then he does it again with Brandon Abbott to the next corner. Weisheit, such car control in these little things. That is so much fun to watch, so well skilled as they continue to stay off of each other. Such gentlemanly respect for racing, but it is so close.
It is incredibly close, and in that bunch of exchanges here, the guy who led at the line, there he is popping to the inside, is just trying to hang on to 5th. That's how fierce this is. Look at that move by Mike Lawrence.
Yeah.
Came across the line in 10th. He's almost in a position to grab a 5th spot here. That's a great run as well. Nice run there by the number, is that the 17 or is that the 27 of Zach Whitston in this mix as well.
Yeah, a lot of trust in the brakes going into 5 there for Mike Lawrence. I thought for a minute he's going to see lockup, but nope, he stuck the landing, so to speak, was able to get it into there very nicely.
Scaler going to try and take another spot away here. And big plume of smoke on the down change. No worries, that's just part of the game here. But wow, and there's the guy who led that blue 61 at the end of the lap.
Half a lap ago.
I know.
He was in the lead, he's in 6th now, and then behind him there's Farnham and Scaler coming through the carousel side by side. These guys might want to play nice.
Yeah, welcome to Formula V. And finally, Andrew Whitston, who was 3rd across the line, who was a Tire Rack Pole Award winner, has found his way to the front, but not for long. because here comes the big move. I think that is going to be brother Steve taking a look. He is down to the inside. Can he get it done? No, Andrew uses that outside line. A little bit better entry speed with Andrew Abbott. But these guys this isn't fair.
Yeah.
Andrew Abbott, Andrew Whitston, Steve Whitston, Brandon Abbott. Oh, thank goodness for Jonathan Weisheit.
He helps us a lot.
Exactly.
We can't mix up his name. But yeah, Andrew Whitston, great job there on the brakes. Thought for a minute he was going to give up that position.
Yeah.
As Steve Whitston had gotten a great run. But I tell you what, I got to say, Andrew Abbott, great job to stay between them. This is where tactics comes into play. He does not want Steve Whitston and Andrew Whitston to hook together because that could be dangerous. They will push. They will push each other. Speaking of pushing, look behind him because Ferguson and is that Weisheit now pushing behind them.
Yeah, that's coming up. Really, really stout run here, but here we go. Steve Whitston looking from way back. Jonathan Weisheit double toe and goes from across the line. He was fourth into second and then running way, way wide.
I think it was Zach Whitston that may have been the one that went wide there. It was either Zach or Steve.
And then down to the inside. Again, a nice lap by Mike Lawrence in that number 33. Just getting through. And Steve Whitston, just that quickly, has dropped back to about 6th or 7th.
There may have been just a moment of touch even going into one there side by side. But there's so much pavement. You get those rumbly strips just on the edge of the track, and then you got pavement.
And three abreast. Three abreast under, as you call it, the cheese bridge. And here we go down into the turn. Look at this move. Is that Zach Whitston?
Ferguson to the lead.
Ferguson to the lead. Unbelievable. This is Formula V at its best, going for a national championship. And Andrew Whitston fighting back, the pole sitter. But look who drives his way through. Andrew Abbott as well. And right back in, 1 and 2 for the Andrews.
Oh, that was just brilliant stuff. Ferguson trusting his brakes. We've seen him do that a couple of times now. They've gone to the disc brakes. It's not that they can brake later. It's that they're more consistent throughout the race. That really helps. And really the reason was parts are available for these 60-year-old chassis, or at least the parts were originally used 60 years ago. But going to disc brakes really helps them, and like I said, more consistent throughout the long race.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a track that's really hard on brakes, that is part of that comfort factor. We were talking earlier, comfort breeds confidence. Confidence breeds speed, and you can see right there, it was pretty obvious. Andrew Abbott, when that other car made that move to the inside, going into the kink, put his hand up like, what are you doing? Let's just draft through the kink. Let's go. But again, Weisheit from way back makes that big double pass and locks himself right back into 4th behind Mitchell Ferguson. This is why I love this class. It is just as furious as racing can possibly be.
Well, I think out front, the two Andrews are starting to figure this out.
Yep.
Andrew Whitston, Andrew Abbott, I think they may try to work together to do this and try to pull away a little bit. But I think Mitchell Ferguson seems to be the aggressor here. He was into the lead. He's dropped back. He now may be getting a draft behind Andrew Abbott. And then you got Zach Whitston now at the tail end of this front train. He's going to try and find his way past Brandon Abbott. You can see him in that yellow car.
Yep, there he goes. Moves to the outside.
Actually, that's Steve Whitston.
Yeah, he may have popped a little bit too soon there and didn't get the toe that he really wanted. But then you got the guys in front are 3 abreast. He's going to pick up a big toe there, but it was too late. Too late for him to do much there. It had to just slot back in. Big wiggle for, I think that was Abbott. He got up over that exit curve.
Look at movement.
Oh, both of the Abbotts are just hunting.
And that's not blocking. That's looking for a place to break there for Brandon Abbott behind Ferguson there in the black car.
But just in frame there is that the car with the blue with the yellow roll hoop. That's Zach Whitston. So that's the other player here.
It's now he's got his brother Steve right in front of him. See if they can help each other down this long back straight.
And the other car that I've just loved just because of the homage graph, well, don't have time to talk about that, is here we go again. And Weisheit, 4th across the start-finish line, goes for the lead. Pole sitter Andrew Whitston tries to fight him around the outside. Weisheit, though, has the line up under the bridge into the very tricky turn 6. A little bit of smoke on the downshift. Ooh, and he got really sideways. That's how hard they're pushing here. And with these skinny little tires, it's a chilly day out there.
Yeah.
What the contact patch on these things is. I don't think
much.
it's more than a credit card size
not
here.
Much. Oh, that's
Ow.
Brandon Abbott now to the inside of Ferguson.
Yeah, makes that big lunge, dives down to the inside.
I noticed back there in the front straight that as they were coming up and over the hill, Andrew Whitston out in the front moved all the way over. There's some oil dry that was down from the prior race. He was kicking that dust up on everybody behind him, and I wonder if that was deliberate, A, to kind of hold his line, and B, hey, guys, go get a little dusty in front of you.
The first thought when you just mentioned that question to me was, duh. You know they will do anything they can. There was a guy that I used to know real well, work for him for a little bit, who was a Formula V racer up at Brainerd. And, of course, that front straight's a drag strip.
Yep.
There's a big seam down the middle, and in the wet, it would fill with water. He would put his tires right on top of that and spray as much as he could. That's just part of the game in racing. You use everything, every arrow you've got in the quiver here right now. And looking pretty stout. Some nice moves being done here by your pole sitter, Andrew Whitston, to get back into the front over Weisheit in that blue machine. Then the brothers Abbott. As it is the 25 of Andrew over the 26 of Brandon, third and fourth. Then Steve Whitston back in the fifth spot.
There he goes again. He's going to follow that line of oil dry, and they're going to follow him to try and get a draft. But he knows, A, that they say that it's a little bit lower elevation change to the right side of the track, but B, he can hold his inside line, and C, hey guys, this little oil dry dust has got to look great and got to smell wonderful to those drivers behind.
Oh, you bet. It's just that. Look at that. You can see right there, Weisheit reached up and wiped a bunch of oil dry off of that visor. And look at. Notice the lead that Whitston had as he came across the line, and the three guys behind working together just blew by him. It changes that fast in this class.
Brake lock up there.
That was. Yeah, I was going to say that was
brakes
not.
Are getting hot.
Yeah, they're working it well. They're working them hard, aren't they?
Yes, they are. This fighting is just intense, and that's really keeping the brakes hot. Trying to see if Farnham can get a run to keep up with these guys. They're going to have to fight a little bit. What I do expect, if we continue at this pace, these guys are not going to pull away because the last lap will be an absolute chess match. No one wants to lead coming out of the kink. So even if you're 5 seconds back like we saw in 2020 with Alex Scaler, yeah, they're going to battle all the way down.
Look at you see Whitston. That was Steve Whitston, the yellow car, just dancing on the brakes, coming down the inside, stood it on its nose and made it work.
He wanted to stay between those two red with the lightning bolt cars. Those are the two Abbotts. He wanted to stay between them. He couldn't do it, but now he's got his own brother right behind him. So you got Steve in all yellow, Andrew Whitston in the red with the white. Those two with the two Abbott brothers in front of him. So two Abbotts, two Whitstons, and when now you've got, of course, a Weisheit stepping in front of Andrew Whitston.
Yeah, and you saw Brandon Abbott run a little wide on the exit of 7, and just that quick, Steve able to make the jump, slide through, split the Abbotts here. And look at the wide line they're running around the carousel here. Wide in, then down to the apex when you get that compression to just flow as much speed as possible out. And here we go. Weisheit, he's done this before, trying to make passes into the kink. And defending into the kink.
A little bit of like a good little lift, so the body kind of moved there. He wanted to hold that line deliberately, did not want to be forced out across the crown of the pavement with the repave here at Road America. Good job there for Steve Whitston to hold that line.
3 wide down into Canada. Pole sitter Andrew Whitston trying to get back into the play here. Comes through into 4th, but Weisheit got a really good exit there. And I got to tell you, Larry, what other class in SCCA competition do you see people defending into the kink?
You just don't. This is amazing. And I'm
such fun.
Yeah, so watching back, keeping an eye on that Farnham and the orange car at the back of the train. He's not going anywhere. I don't think he's got the pace in the car that he was hoping to have, but he's in the fight. You cannot count out a former champion.
No, that's the first time he's really been hooked up now with this lead group up front. He's dropped Lawrence a little bit, and that's what he needed to do. Battle for the lead, battle for 3rd. Andrew Whitston just took 3rd away, but he may have done it too soon. And look at the 25 now of Andrew Abbott. He led across the line. Whitston has gone by. Then it's got to be more specific.
Some
Steve Whitston has gone by.
And Steve's and Whitstons
and Abbott's
and
Whitston, and Bears, oh my. All right, here we go. Turn 3, critical corner. Always get this run here. We're already at halfway. Oh. This is such fun. It's going so beautifully. What a run. And here we go. Andrew Whitston, the pole sitter, Tire Rack Polo Award pole sitter now, got a little bit of a drive out of 3. And now is he going to go 3 abreast down into 5? Might be. He's through, but watch from the outside. Oh! Contact! And is he going to save
Brandon
it?
Abbott.
Yeah, Abbott saves it from the wall. And was that a touch with Weisheit?
It looked like it might have been. Look at his right front suspension to see if he has anything on there. The car's got a bit of a lean to the right. Let's hope there's another pack of cars coming. Maybe it's good. Yeah, maybe it is okay.
Yeah, you
He's
got
gonna
it. These
return.
are sturdy. And one thing about these cars, they do tend to be pretty sturdy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to see.
Weisheit now, big dive down to the inside on the 25 of Andrew Abbott. Let's go back and take a look and watch in the back here. There goes Abbott to the outside.
He comes across just a little bit as they try to set up for braking.
Right here.
Yep. He just does. He tangles a little bit with Weisheit. So we'll see if there's any issue with Weisheit. See if he's got a bit of an alignment, maybe a little bit extra toe that he didn't start the day with, and see if he's able to be as aggressive going forward as he has been.
You know what? At the end of that replay, huge shout out to Weisheit because he was still trying to save that car as he got into the braking zone and saved it from crunching the back of the guy in front. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, he's testing the car now. It looks like it passes the test as he's up in that third spot, staying ahead of the remaining Abbott, Andrew Abbott in the front pack. But the two now, this is what I'm really worried about. It's the two Whitstons now in front, Steve and Andrew Whitston, now with just a little bit of gap. That's going to put the pressure on Andrew Abbott and Jonathan Weisheit to work together. And then you got Farnham and Zach Whitston back there. So we got a moment to breathe, but it's not going to last long.
Yeah, Farnham in all of that exchange did a beautiful job. He was 8th as that last lap completed, and he's going to be up into possibly 5th here. And look at this. You can see Steve Whitston, who was upset about hauling his brother Andrew around, and looked over and maybe made that pass by Andrew a little easier, going, yeah, you're going to haul me around for a little bit here, Paul.
Yeah.
And look at this. Andrew Abbott down to the inside.
And remember, you just noticed coming out of 14, Steve was ahead of Andrew. By the time they got to the timing stripe, Andrew was clearly ahead, which means final lap. That's how it could easily go. They've got to watch this. Also note, these Whitstons, I bet all 4 of them in the field are on comms together.
Oh, of course.
So they're talking to each other. They're not just guessing which way they're going to go. They're telling each other, go left, I'm going to go right, and vice versa.
We just saw Andrew Abbott again gesturing rather frantically as Weisheit went down the inside. And I think he's saying, let's not race. Look who's out front. And but the two out front, and you see now that pass being made. Yes. That's by design. Oh, and Weisheit, did he do that? What a save! Wow. But did he get a little tap from Abbott, or was that just Weisheit on his own going around?
If he did, he's going to be tired of seeing Abbott's around him.
Yes,
it was
he
2
is.
times into 5. Once it's Brandon, the other's Andrew. But what a recovery for Weisheit. Look at the spin after the contact.
Look at here. That just happened on his own.
That's totally by himself. Andrew was way back there. But boy, I can't believe Danny Sullivan style, he's going to get the spin and keep going.
Yeah, he went from 3rd to 5th. That's all it was with that spin here. And I wonder if he just went down 1 gear too many.
Maybe,
it just snapped.
Yeah, either it was a brake lockup with a bias issue, or perhaps, like you say, that early downshift, he might have just locked that back end a little bit. That was brilliant, though, for everyone to avoid him and then for him to recover and continue. That's just absolutely – but this has created more of a gap now to the brothers Whitston out in front. Andrew Abbott is going to be giving them a run.
Look at this, side by side through the kink.
That's Farnham.
That's Farnham and Weisheit, wheel to wheel, and I mean sliver of paper close through the kink here. And these two brothers right now are saying, let's go. We've got opportunity here. Let's get moving here. Weisheit a little wide there through Canada, and that gave, again, Brian Farnham just a little bit of a look here. Behind him, Zachary Whitston and Mitchell Ferguson.
Yeah, Weisheit might have an issue, maybe with that brake bias or something today. We saw that spin. He just had that moment there. I'm sure if you're Brian Farnham, you'd rather be in front of Weisheit so that you don't get caught behind with maybe a bit of a lunge under braking. So you'd like to kind of just get around them and do your own thing. But look out in front. Look at these guys working together.
Yep.
I think there's still enough of a draft to Andrew Abbott. He's not going away yet.
Yeah, and I wonder, it just occurred to me here, obviously, that first instance down into 5 with the other Abbott, those two, that was definitely contact. with Weishite. I wonder if maybe something got knocked a little askew.
That's what I'm wondering, yeah.
And so, he hits the brakes and it just snaps that car. Ooh.
And that may be the same thing.
Whoa. He's coming across. Another spin. Yeah, I think that car has turned into a handful.
Yes.
And again, somehow he saves it.
Oh, Zach Winston. Oh, my goodness. What a job to avoid him. Weishite just having all kinds of troubles now. Again, I do agree with you. I think he's got a bit of a alignment askew that's causing all of this stuff. That's going to take him out of this front pack. Whew. Take your breath. That was it. All right, let's get back to the front because it is just crazy. Look at these two. Look at the coordination up in front, though. Every time you look at them, the other brothers in front because they're doing these deliberate leapfrogs.
Yeah, and it's absolutely brilliant. The guy comes through. You just let him go, tuck in behind, and just continue to move. But as you said, Abbott, he hasn't gone anywhere, and he's close enough. So he could still be a little disruptor in this one as we are working lap 10 of 13. And Abbott just needs to drive a couple of really, really clean corners here and glom onto the back of that yellow protoform of Steve Whitston.
We saw Andrew Abbott do this at Road America here 4 years ago where he had a great run late in the race to get up onto the podium. We saw him actually do a tire change at VIR last year under yellow and end up on the podium. He has got tremendous pace late in races. Keep your eye on Andrew Abbott. But the Whitstons, we saw the two different. We saw Zach and Andrew work together on comms at VIR back in 19. We saw Andrew with a great run last year to take the gold. Steve Whitson doesn't have a gold yet, but would love to taste the sweetness of a gold medal. He does not want his brother to win, but it's going to be fun at the front. We've got some great racing going on here in the middle of the field, too.
Oh, everywhere. These guys, it's just so fun no matter where you look. Here's a recovering Brandon Abbott. These guys are going after it.
That's Rick Shields.
Yeah, talk about skill behind the wheel of a V here. Donnie Isley glued to him. And these guys are really putting on a show here as well. One thing I just wanted to note, Andrew Abbott, who currently runs third, has 4 medals at the runoffs, all thirds.
Yes. Yep, and he's always just sniffing it. He's near. I mean, for last year to be able to get the tire change with his father going back to paddock in the middle of the race to get a wheel and bring it to pit lane, and they got it done. This time, it's just all about sheer driver and just staying in it. And who's that?
Trying to catch the
That's
number.
Ron Winston, I think. The number 5. We had the opening lap issue for him, and now is that down in 5? Trying to see where that is.
Yeah, it's just a weird angle here.
It might be in 6, actually.
All right, look at this. Here's that again. But Andrew Abbott has joined this group. Now he just wants to stay close. I think he'll take second or first just so it's not third again.
Yes, he would love to be something other than third right now. But don't count out Farnham. He's all by himself back there. If Andrew Abbott can mix it up and get it between the two Whitstons, it will slow that pace.
That's a good
And Brian Farnham is ready to jump if he can. He's got nobody to draft. He needs the front to fight. It all depends. This order right now, it's not a fight. The front two are going to control. If Andrew Abbott can get in between them, it'll actually bring Farnham into this.
Yeah, I think that's an entirely possible scenario, too, here, as he is going to do everything he can. I think he's done it. He has jumped in between. Ooh. Big wiggle, still wiggling by Andrew Whitston. I'm not sure how he got it down to the apex. And I think Andrew Abbott there was like, he just checked up going, is he going around? And that's up the exit of 6 is where this is.
And the field's just going by right now as he waves to his sons going past.
Yeah, and you just saw the EV worker there when he put both of his arms out side to side. That means flat toe is good. So all I have to do is hook up and get him out of the way.
And the exit of the track is like about 30 yards, 20 yards behind him. They'll just go right there. Will be good. Local yellow only. Wonderful to see the track services here at Road America doing a great job.
Yep, right now work in the middle of lap 11 here. And pole sitter Andrew Whitston, this is as big a lead as we have seen, and that's thanks to Andrew Abbott, who has got in there, and as we talked about, been the disruptor just a little bit.
Andrew Whitston, a great exit at 8 to the carousel and just rocketing around as he pulls a tear off there to kind of get a good clean visor running down through the trees here. And then this battle we talked about there earlier is Brandon Abbott with Rick Shields down in that group. Donnie Isley, Graham Lughead is in that group.
It's a good little scrum, and this is a battle right now for 9th, folks. I mean, that's how furious these guys are racing. Ooh, a little wide there by the 26 Abbott, and just that quickly, a nice little move there by the extremely experienced Rick Shields. Dives down, picks up that spot.
And the last one of the train there, that's John Adams, lives up in my neck of the woods up there in Michigan. Has that very unique chassis that Adams V2. Look how tall that car is. It's great in a place like Mid-Ohio. Here, the aero is a little bit less than optimal, but really kind of cool to see a unique build and unique body on that car.
Yeah, that, oh, and here we go. Late pop by the 26 of Brandon Abbott on Shields. Graham Loghead tucks right in behind, and Shields ready to do an immediate counterpunch. Yeah, you're right. That car of Adams, that yellow Adams V2.
Bodywork there off the edge of the track there on the left. They got to watch for that. Should be a debris flag somewhere down in there, but look at this Brandon Abbott coming across.
That was, he used every bit of road at the exit of Billy Mitchell, didn't he? And that's how you need to drive that turn.
You do.
You turn in early. Everything's telling you to turn in late because it's blind uphill, and you got to turn in early, and you just hope you've angled right so you can use that little bit of that that cut through.
Oh,
and he did it beautifully. But Shields, nice job.
He's taking the opportunity to use the draft down the inside. Shields got Graham Logan right behind him. And you got Donnie Isley in that blue car, another unique body there right behind these front three.
Yeah, it's almost got a Terrell-like nose from way back with that little flat nose on it.
This is the battle for ninth. Yeah. They're just fighting like it's for the win.
Oh, you bet. It's furious. It's absolutely intense, battling everywhere here. And in front of this group is that number 36 of Mike Lawrence, kind of running by himself right now.
He was a part of that front pack for quite a while now. It's faded a little bit. Had a good little run with him, and he's got Jonathan Weishaupt in front of him with who knows what kind of car Jonathan's got right now, as we had saw in the spins from him.
Exactly. And take a look here at this car, Lawrence. I was trying to allude to it. This is a full-on homage to Dan Gurney's Eagle, Formula One Eagle back in the day. Look at the graphics on that. The 36, everything is the same. He's just said, I guess I'm done.
Yeah, that's something with the car that he's not happy with. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it truly is. Announcer's curse. Right?
Yep.
Shields. Ooh, that was a big move by Shields there. They are going to advance now. That as Lawrence was running in the 8 spot, so these will all move up. But again, Graham Loghead doing a really, really nice job here.
Yeah. Yeah, fighting with the multi-time champ Shields there right behind him. Shields' last win in 2014 back at Laguna Seca 10 years ago.
Yep, and that's for Graham's car that Jeff Loghead used to drive that, and with that exact same graphics package, and he was always an absolute front runner. And there's that 26, the red one of Brandon Abbott, and there's that piece of debris and then the leaves flying down there. But up front, Andrew Whitston has been able, as we are going to come around and start our final lap, Andrew Whitston has a little bit of a lead with brother Steve in the 2nd spot. It's going to be difficult now for Andrew Abbott to be able to do something here. But
I need to stand for this. This is going to be amazing. 1 lap to go.
Here we go. White flag is out. 1 lap to go in the run for the gold in Formula V. Steve Winston dives to the inside. This is what Andrew Abbott wanted to see. He'll get a double pull here. He's going to pop to the inside. He has got maybe Andrew in his sights, not Steve. But he split him. Andrew Abbott, he needed, big wiggle as he got in there. That is going to cost him dearly, as Andrew Whitston is going to have position down the inside, and that gives Steve about a 3-car length, make it 4 margin coming out of 3, Larry.
Yeah, that wide run there for Abbott. He had to check up a little bit, giving Whitston the chance to get up. He said, I got to say Andrew Whitston. Can't just say Whitston around this field. Steve Whitston, though, getting a good run. I have a feeling that'll evaporate here in just a second as we get to the bottom of the hill. I don't think any of these guys want to lead out of the kink. I'm not even sure you want to lead coming out of Canada. 14's the corner. You want to be sitting second. Here comes the chess match.
Yep, and Steve just let Andrew come through. And sitting back in 3rd, Andrew Abbott looking for any opportunity here. Ooh, Andrew a little bit hard over that exit curve. That car dancing. He's out of Neenah, Wisconsin, just down the road here, so going to be pushing it hard. Here we go, last time. Up and through turn number 7, falling away.
Remember how fast Andrew Whitston was the last lap through this section. If he does that again, he can have a pretty good lead going down toward Canada.
Absolutely. And for Andrew Abbott, it's like, okay, what and where do I do something here? But right now, Steve's glomming onto the back of Andrew, not wanting him to get away. There's that super wide entry that these V's use, and then drop back down to the apex. running through. And look at that, Andrew Abbott falling back just a little bit, and I think that's just because he just didn't have quite the toe. But now he's going to catch it. But look at Andrew. You talked about it, so quick through the exit of the carousel down into Canada. I don't know that these guys are going to be in a position. Steve, I don't think he's close enough.
Steve's holding position, maybe to help his brother a little bit out in front. Look at him kind of protecting the inside, keeping Andrew Abbott behind him. Steve maybe also thinking, okay, Andrew, my brother Andrew, you go ahead and lead out of Canada. I'll get you up the next hill. Keep your eyes on a run coming out of 14.
Let's see what happens. Oh, and look at Abbott in the back dancing, looking inside, outside, trying to find a way through on Steve Whitston. All of that giving Andrew Whitston from the pole the opportunity here. Andrew coming up, a 3-time gold medalist. He is the defending champion. Woo! Big moment for Abbott there as he clocked that curb. Up the hill we go. It is the drag race. Here comes Steve. He's got some momentum. Steve's coming along up. He's got a nose ahead. But way down to the inside, it's Abbott. I had to. But it looks, I don't know, how close is it? Steve Whitston, 36 1/1000ths of a second, folks, over the pole sitter brother Andrew Whitston. Andrew Abbott third by 59 1/1000ths of a second, and Brian Farnham ends up in fourth, Zach Whitston in fifth. And here's this battle we've been following, and at least is the brother Abbott going to be able to make the comeback here? He's trying to perfect. No, he is not. Rick Shields and Graham Loghead using that draft are going to make that one pay off here. And up the hill, that looks...
That's 81 to Ray Carmody.
Yeah, and it looks like he's tracking weird up the hill. That's what was catching my eye here. So holy cow, what a battle we have had here as the rest of the field working their way up here. And here's another draft move. You know, this is one of those deals you do not want to be leading coming out of that last turn, that's for sure. We've seen that play out, Larry.
Yeah, you definitely don't, and it plays out again today. Like I said, Steve Whitston had brother Andrew right where he wanted him. We thought maybe Andrew Whitston had the pace coming around the carousel, but Steve set him up, and just by, like you said, 36 1/1000ths of a second. Unbelievable.
And that margin for Abbott, that's from the winner. So here's the 181 of Alexander Bertolucci running in the 19th spot. But let's clarify this, folks. The top three covered by 59 1/1000ths. It wasn't 59 from Andrew back to Andrew. That was from Steve Whitston to third. That is extraordinary. 13 laps around a 4-mile track.
Yeah.
59 1/1000ths covers the top three.
Unbelievable. Whew. Steve Whitston's going to get his first championship. Andrew Whitston's going to get his first silver medal. And for Andrew Abbott, well, it's not his first bronze. I think next year that car might be painted bronze colored.
I think so. Maybe that'll give him the opportunity here. That's his 5th bronze for Andrew Abbott. And what a fight he put in. And Brian Farnham, you know, we do have that award for the Sunoco Hard Charger. Yeah. And Brian, with that problem in qualifying, was definitely out of place and down the order just a little bit. And that was 11th up into 4th. It's a pretty good run.
Yeah, that's an absolutely great run for him. Love to see the former champ come up here and take that 4th spot. That's got to feel pretty good after the work they put in this week.
Absolutely. Great job here. Big field, as we talked about, 27 of these beautiful Formula Vs. And they did not disappoint. I've been looking to this one for the entire event. These guys, it's just on a track like this, it is a chess match extraordinaire. And the brothers Whitston, everybody was concerned about them getting out front. You called it. And once they got there, even somebody as talented as Andrew Abbott could not figure out a chink in that armor.
Yeah, a big shout out to Andrew Abbott to run them down.
Yeah,
he was by himself, no drafting partner, with the front two working together as well as they do. He was able to run them down and mix it up and be right there at the finish. If the start line was about 100 feet further, he might have won this race.
You know, and you know, for Jonathan Weisheit, were it not for that little bit of contact, something got knocked askew on that car and just made it a handful. But he drove the wheels off it as long as he possibly could here. 2 massive spins and saves that was able to drive away. But in the end, Steve Whitston, after, again, as he said, I towed my brother around and gave him that pole. Well, Steve Whitston was in the right spot, right place, and made it work. A gold medal drops around the neck of Steve Witston. There is the SCCA hat, and you know what's coming. There it is, the Hoosier necklace. And with that, let's head down to Hayward Wagner with our gold medalist.
Steve Winston, can you even believe it?
No, I really can't. I never thought it would happen. I thought I was going to have to work a very, very long time to get to this point. The runoffs has always been my goal, and I honestly, I can't believe it.
You're on the last lap. You're coming down to Canada. You've got your brother in front of you. You've got an Abbott behind you. Are you thinking protect? Are you thinking go? What was your mindset from Canada to 14?
Well, I knew that I didn't want to pass Andy going into Canada. I knew I wanted to be second place going through 14. And so coming through the kink, I just lifted a little bit just so I could get a little bit of a gap, so I would have the same exact draft as the Abbott behind me to Andy, so I would get right to the braking zone and be right behind him. And it worked perfectly. Obviously, the worry is that Brandon or Andrew Abbott gets in there. And, man, it just worked out perfect. I couldn't believe it.
59 thousandths of a second, first to third, for a Formula V national championship. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
Yeah.
The Abbott.
He couldn't tell
you
which
couldn't
one
tell
it was.
either. Yeah, I just love that. Wow, what a run. Let's take a look at our provisional top 10. There you see it, the brothers Witston up top by 36 one-thousandths from Andrew Witston back to Andrew Abbott, 23 one-thousandths of a second. Brian Farnham, a great drive from 8th and 4th. Zach Witston had to fight up through the pack as well, did a nice job. Mitchell Ferguson was in the mix. Jonathan Weisheit, he was the entertainment in this one. It was spectacular. And then, just the savvy Rick Shields. What a drive he put on for 8th. Graham Lockhead in 9th, and Brandon Abbott fighting back into the 10th spot. That is your provisional top 10, but let's get right back down to Hayward with our silver and bronze medalists, the Andrews.
Andrew is a 59 thousandths of a second gap first to third at the line. I think the question everybody wants to know is how uncomfortable is Thanksgiving going to be?
Oh, I don't know. You guys ask us the same question every year, and our goal is really to get 3 cars on the podium, and we, this is about as close as we can get, but not do it. Just the whole team's been working so hard. I'm so excited for Steve. It's just awesome. He earned that race all by himself. I mean, we were working together a little bit, but he was in the right place at the right time. Drove a really smart race, kept his nose clean, and was there at the end at the right spot. Just huge, massive thanks to our dad. Just building these awesome cars for us. We had half of the top 8 in qualifying, got the top 2 in the race here. It's just awesome. Thanks to my mom and my wife Tracy and the whole team, just Uncle Bob for sure, just keeping us all on track, getting the cars right, and the results are showing of all the hard work that we put in.
Well, it's a Winston 1-2, but it would not be a Formula V podium without an Abbott. Andrew Abbott, in the wars for this race, came home in third. I told the other guys it's a 59 thousandth gap first to third at the line. Doesn't get much tighter than that.
I guess I can't finish third any closer than this one. This is a tough one, losing my dad this year. This one's for him. Thanks to everybody that's helped us get through this year. It's meant a lot, the whole V community. Sucks what happened to my brother. We were having a good run. Anytime you run her up to the Witstons, man, they're the class of the field. They are outstanding. They got the whole package together. Their dad won the Terry Abbott Award for how hard he works to keep them up front. So, yeah, I just can't thank everybody enough that helped us get through this, and this one's for Dad.
Well, a lot of emotion in that. Very happy for you to get the bronze. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, his 5th, and obviously the emotions pour out here when, the thing, racing is a family in general, and then when you have a family in racing, it's even more intense. Take a look at some of the highlights. Again, Andrew Witston from the tire rack pole, led early, but the guy who was coming on is the recent inductee into the Formula V Hall of Fame, Weisheit, in that blue 61. And then that first, that was his spin, and that happened all on his own. We think maybe a little damage, but then the wars were on.
Yeah, Steve Witston, great jobs in here. As his brother Andy said, kind of controlling it, driving it on his own. The 2 Andrews behind him, Steve was just rock solid all day. Right position, right place, right time. He knew, as he said, the goal was to be second coming out of Canada. He did exactly that. Just beautifully executed. Look at it again. All 3 of them here just pulling away from the field. Their pace was tremendous in the last 4 laps of this race.
And here, folks, is what 59 one-thousandths of a second looks like. 3 wide at the line. And there you have it. Look at that. And I got to say, I think had Andrew Abbott not run so wide and start bouncing over the curbs and won, this could have had a little different outcome. That cost him a little bit.
Yeah, just may have, but I'm sure he's, as you can see, emotional but thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely. Out on that very special lap for Steve Whitston. A big thanks once again to Mazda for presenting our coverage here of the 60th running of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs at Road America. For Larry and for Hayward, I'm Greg Creamer. Thank you so much for joining us for the Run for the Gold in Formula V. It did not disappoint.